All right, thanks for coming. In this video, we're gonna deal with fractions. We're gonna deal with adding fractions, subtracting fractions, multiplying fractions, and dividing fractions. Right? Please, before we'll continue or we'll start, subscribe to my channel, like and share the video. If you have any comments, leave it under this video, okay? If you have any question, leave it there. I will answer it. If there's something that is if I misspoke or something, because I notice sometimes I misspoke, I want to say something else, I end up saying a different thing. But if you see that I misspoke, if it's confusing you, write it down and I will explain it. I will correct myself. Okay, so we're dealing with fractions, man. Fractions. There's nothing to be scared. Fractions are actually, they are easier to manipulate than the whole numbers. Right? Look at the picture there. Well, first of all, I say, what is a fraction? A fraction is a part of a whole. I don't know if you ever fractured your bones, like your hand bones or your leg bones. The word fraction and fracture, they originate from the same Latin term that means to break. So it basically is to break up stuff. You see the pizza there, the pizza is broken up. You see right there, this is the pizza right there. And somebody sliced it into four. See, they sliced this one into four right there, and they took this part out. And then here the pizza is sliced into four parts, and somebody took two parts, right there. See? So if you look at this one to understand fraction, this will help you to visualize fraction, right? This is the whole pizza right here. This is the whole pizza. So it's 1/1. There's nothing was breaking apart. So 1/1 is 1. Now this one here is 1/4. 1/4 of the pizza, because the pizza was sliced into four, and this is 1/4 of it. So we'll write it as 1/4. 1/4 is a fraction, right? And then look at this one here. This is a half of the pizza. Somebody sliced it like that and sliced it like that and took this one and took that one. You see what I'm saying? So, and they left half of the pizza. So this part here is half of the pizza. And then look at this. They took this part here and they took this part here. Like I said, this part is 1/4 and this part is 1/4, right? I'm sorry, 1/4. Now, those two parts make up half of the pizza, because 1/4 plus 1/4 will give you 2/4. And then you reduce that, you get 1/4, right? We're gonna get into that. I mean, one half. We're gonna get into that in a minute. So this gives you an idea what they mean by fraction. Break things up, and when they break it up, they have to be into equal parts. Because for you to say 1/4, it means the object was divided into equal parts, and then the one of it is taken up and put on top. Okay, so now let's define some terms, right? So I said the pizza was divided into four parts, and then 1/4 of it was taken out, and then half of it was taken out. That's 2/4, right? Which is the same thing as a half when you reduce that. Now, here are terminologies for you. This part here, the number on top of this line here is called the numerator. Here's how you spell the numerator, right? And this part here under that line is called the denominator. All right? So the way you remember you're gonna get confused. Look at the D. The D tells you that is down. It's down under that line right here. The numerator is on top. And then there's another term I want you to pick up on. pick up on this term, you see those two. Look at those two fractions. They call them equivalent. Two fractions are equivalent to when one can be reduced to other, right? They have the same value, right? See, this one is called a reduced term. It's in reduced terms. What does that mean? Okay, this one is not a reduced term because you can reduce that to that. So how do you know this one? How do you know this is a reduced term? Well, there's a definition. They said that a fraction is in reduced term when the numerator and the denominator have a common factor of 1. A common factor of 1. What does that mean? Okay, let's use 2. Let's use 1.5. Look at that. You can write this as 1 times. Yeah, you can write that as 1 times 1 over 1 times 2, right? Look at that. They have a common factor of 1. But check this out. Look at 2. 2 is, look at 2 over 4. It's not in reduced term. How do you know that? Look at this. You can say 2 times 1 over 2 times, 2 times 2. Look at that. See, then the factor there, the common factor there is 2, it's not 1. So if a fraction is in reduced term when the common factor of the denominator and numerator is just 1. So basically that means you cannot reduce it anymore. You cannot reduce it to the lowest numbers that are available. Okay, for example, you can't reduce this anymore. 3 over 4, you can't reduce it anymore. You can reduce, let's say, 6 over 12. You can reduce it to 1 over 2, see? So that's what the term means. You're going to hear that term over and over again. So let's continue. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to add fractions, and then after that, we'll go to subtraction, okay? So let's rock and roll. Okay, let's do addition of fractions. Addition of fractions, right? Addition of fractions. That's what we're gonna do next. So what does it mean to add fractions? I'll give you an example. You remember pizza was sliced into 4 and one of them was separated. Well, that's 1 over 4. I remember the other pizza was there was a time, slice the pizza into half, which is two portions over 4, right? So let's say you want to add those two fractions. What does that mean? Well, very simple. When you add two fractions with the same denominator, see there? They have the same denominator. Same denominator. Denominator, right? Right, when you have this add fraction with the same denominator, you just add the numerators and leave the denominator below. Basically, what that means is you just say 1 plus 2 over 4, because those two fractions have the same denominators, right? You just add it up like that. That's all. So there's nothing to be scared of. You just add it up, and then what do you get? You get 3 over 4. So basically, you slice the pizza into 4 parts. You separated 3 parts. That's all that thing is saying there. Okay, and of course that thing is in reduced. This is in reduced term, right? So that's the solution there. So let's give you another example. 3 over 12 plus 6 over 12. Notice they have the same denominator, right? You do the same thing we did over there. You write the denominator 12, and then you add the things on top, which is 3 over 6. What do you get? You get 9 over 12. Notice it's not in reduced term. We can reduce it more. So we can say that's Because here 3 will go in there, 3 will go in there, get 4. We can say that's 3 over 4, see? Very simple, man. Working with fractions, very, very simple. Nothing to be scared of. You just knock it out and go. Let's do one more example. Suppose you say add 4 over 15 plus 6 over 15. Again, you do the same thing. Right? The denominators are the same, which is 15. You write it like that, and then you add 4 and 6. That's 4 plus 6. And then you get 10 over 15. Notice that it's now reduced. We should reduce it. We reduce it to, you divide this by 5, you get 2. Divide this by 5, you get 3. So it's 2 over 3. You can't reduce it anymore. So the same thing, addition and subtraction, the same thing, man. You know, when you subtracting fraction, the same thing. All right, let's do subtraction problem. 12 over 3 minus 6 over 3, right? You should just follow the same procedure. They have a common denominator, right? So you put 3 there, and then you say 12 minus 6. What do you get? You get 6 over 3. Very simple. That's not reduced. We can reduce it further. When you reduce it, what do you get? You get 2. Because that is 1 that is going to 6 too. Okay, so let's solve another problem. Look at this example here. 7 over 5 minus 3 over 5. The same thing. Follow the same process. You know, you write 5 there. 7 minus 3 is the same thing as 4 over 5, and it's reduced a little bit there. Okay. And let's look at another example. 8 over 13 minus 7 over 13, right? They have a common denominator, and then you write it there, 13. Write it there, sorry about this one here. I don't want to confuse you. You write it there, 13, and then you start subtracting what is on top. 8 minus 7, you get 1 over 13, and this is reduced. Let's do another example. All right, let's do this problem here. 1 over 3 plus 2 over 5. Okay, notice something there. Notice that we've been solving problems with the same denominators, right? This problem here, 1 over 3 and 2 over 5, they have different denominators, right? There are many ways they solve this, you know, but I'm gonna solve it my way, but I will show you the other method, you know. They both come out the same way, so I will show you both ways, and then you can choose the one you're comfortable with. Okay, you come up with the same answer, right? Now the idea is to make them have the same denominators. That's all. You want these and that you want to equalize the denominators. Once you can make them have the same denominators, then you go back to the way we were solving it before, and then you solve it that way, right? Here is the way I like to solve it. It's looking for the least common denominator. That's the idea. But this is how I solve it. Look at 3 and look at 5. You take them, you multiply them. You say 3 times 5 is what? Is equals to 15, right? Put 15 there. You say 3 divide 15. What do you get? You get 5. And then you say 5 times 1 right here is 5. Okay, then you add. You do the same thing with 5. You say 5 divide 15. What do you get? 3. 3 times these 2 here. What do you get? You get 6. And then you add, right? You add down. You have the same denominator. You add 5 and 6, you get 11 over 15. You know, and that's your solution right there. it's reduced already. You can do the same thing with subtraction. Let's say you want to do this problem 7 over 4 minus 6 over 5. You do the same thing. You want to equalize the denominators, right? They have different denominators. So what you do, you multiply them out. You say 4 times 5 is 20, right? And then you say 4 divide 20. You get 5. 5 times 7 is 35. You write it there. It says minus, and then you do the same thing with 5. 5 divide 20, you get 4. 4 times 6 is 24, right there. You see? Very simple. Follow it methodically. You get the right result. 35 subtract 24, you get 11 over 20. That's what you're looking for. That's the result there. You cannot reduce it anymore. All right, notice what we did in the previous problem, right? I need to mention that way you understand what we're doing. Notice that what we did there is we said we had it goes with either multiplication or subtraction. Remember, we did 1 over 3 plus 2 over 5, right? I forgot to mention that. I was, going too fast. Remember, we solved it. We got 15. We wrote 15, and then we did all the work, right? And we got 11 over 15, right? See, what I forgot to mention is this. This is the same thing as 5 over 15 plus 6 over 15. That's all. We were looking for the same. We want to equalize the denominator. So that's what we did there. That's the same thing as 11 over 15. All right, let me show you another method. Another method to solve the addition of or subtraction of fractions, right? So you saw those two fractions. They have different denominators. So we'll try to make the denominators the same. Here is I'm going to show you another way. This way is usually common with American schools. So the first method is you find what they call the LCD, the least common denominator, right? And then you start with 6. You look for multiples of 6, right? Multiples of 6, okay? So you find, you find 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42, 48, right? These are multiples of 6. Then you ask yourself, what is the least multiple of 6 that 8 can divide? This 8 here. And then if you look over here, see 8 cannot divide 18, 8 cannot divide 12, 8 can divide 24. Then you say 24 is the number you're looking for that will equalize the denominator. So basically, the step 2 is to say 5 over 6 plus 3 over 8 is the same. You're looking for something. You're going to have 24 plus 24. You're looking for something here, and you're looking for something here. How do you find those things up there? Well, the way you proceed is you ask yourself, what can I multiply 6 to get 24? Because you see, you write it like this. This is step 3 now. You write it like this. 5 over 6 equals to what? 24. You ask yourself, what can I multiply 6 to get 24 down there? If you look carefully, you see is 4. 4 times 6 is 24, right? Right? So then what you do is, according to them, This is the same thing as 20 over 24. So you do the same thing with the other part, with this part here. You say 3 over 8 is equals to something here over 24. You say, what can you multiply the left side to get me? What can you multiply 8 to get 24? Of course, you know the answer is 3. If you multiply 8 by 3, you get 24. So you multiply the whole thing, you multiply the whole thing by 3. And what do you get? You get 9 over 24. So that's the idea right there. Basically, you have found the common denominator. Then you said that 5 over 6 plus 3 over 8 is the same thing as, you copy that down, it's same thing as 20 over 24 plus 9 over 24. You see that, right? And this problem becomes easy. Then you say this is the same thing as 24. 20 plus 9 is 29. It's 29. That's the answer right there. So that's one way. Another way, that's mainly the way American universities solve the problem like that. But notice something though. Notice something. Keep your eye right here. Keep your eye right here. You see all those factors? Notice something. Let me solve it my way. I show you. Notice something. What is that problem again? 5 over 6 plus 3 over 8. Right? Okay. Look at my way. You say 6 times 8 is what? It's 48, right? You get 48. 48 divided by 6. 48 divided by 6 is 8, right? 8 times 5, you take 8, you times that 5. 8 times 5 is 40 plus. And then you say 8, 48 divided by 8 is what? 6. 6 times this 3 is, 6 times 3 is 18, right? And then you said this is equals to 58 over 48, right? And then you can reduce that. You reduce that to 29 over, you divide that by 2 and divide this by 2. Divide this by 2, divide that by 2. You get 24. 29 over 24. That's the same solution. But notice something though, we use the highest highest factor. Remember, the factors are here. We use 48. We could have used 24. Let me show you how. You just have to figure it out here. You remember we said the 5 over 6 plus 3 over 8, right? So we could have said 6 times 8 is 48. Suppose you divide 48 by 2. If you divide 48 by 2, you get 24, right? You get 24. Okay, will 6 go into 24? Yes. Will 8 go into 24? Yes. You see? So if you do that, you come with the same solution we had before. Because now you're splitting it by 24, the way it was done up here, you see? The way it was done up here. So either way, I think this one is a little... The thing is it's a little brief, but you gotta do a lot of heavy multiplication and division. That's all. Alright, let's solve this problem. Notice it's a mixture of addition of fractions and subtraction of fractions. You can do it. See the same easy stuff. So what you do, you do this part first. When you're done, the result you get there, you subtract it from here. That's all. So let's do the first part first. We do 1 over 3 plus 2 over 5, right? We'll proceed the same way we normally do. 3 times 5 was what? 15, right? So we use that common, what I call LCD. 3 divide 5 I'm sorry, 3 divide 15. What do you get? You get 5. 5 times 1 is 5. Okay? And then 5 divide 15, you get 3. 3 times 2 is 6, right? So what do you do there? You add the stuff up, you get 11 over 15. After you, well, this is the, I'm sorry, it's not the answer. This is what you get, but then you have to do 11 over 15 minus 6 over 15, right? See? You have to finish up the problem. Then you get, what do you get there? You get 15, which is the same thing as 5 over 15. So that's the final answer right there. This is just the answer of this one right here. Okay, so that's it right there. So you can mix up if subtraction and the addition of fractions are mixed up. Don't be scared. You just continue doing what we've been doing. Okay. Now we're gonna go to multiplication of fractions. Now notice something. Suppose a over b is a fraction, right? And then you have another fraction, c over d. To multiply them is very simple. You say 8 over b times c over d. That's all. That's all. You do that, then when you go to the other side, you draw this line. You just you go ahead and multiply b. I'm sorry. You multiply a times c, and you multiply b times d. That's it. That's it. This is the easiest. So the numerator of one fraction is multiplied by the numerator of the other fraction. Denominator of the first fraction multiplied by the denominator of the second fraction. That's all. Very simple. So let's do some examples. We're gonna run through this quick. Okay, so let's say you have 1 over 3 times 6 over 5. Like I said, you just multiply things out. 6 times 1 over 3 times 5. That's it. 6 over 15, right? Suppose you have 5 over 3 times 7 over 4. What do? You multiply things out. You say 5 times 7 over 3 times 4. And you get 35 over 12. You can reduce that. That can be reduced. You can write it as an improper. Well, this is an improper fraction. You can reduce it like this to 11 over 12. You can write it like that. That and that, the same thing. Okay. So let's look at another example. It's very, very easy to do multiplication of fraction. Let me show you something. Let's say we'll have something like this: 10 over 15 times 30 over 40, right? What do? You do the same thing we did up there. 10 times 30 over 15 times 40, right? When you multiply that out, you get 300 over 600, right? That's what you get. So you can cross this out, cross that out. You get 3 over 6, which is the same thing as 1 over 2. But notice something though. There's another way you can do this problem, right? 10 over 15 times 30 over 40. You don't have to do all that. You can start crossing things out from here. See? And then here, 5 go into there, you get 2. 5 go into here, you get 3. Right? And then look at 3. 3 here, cross 3 out there. And then what you have? You have 2 over 4, which is the same thing as 1 over 2. So you can start from the left, crossing things out. That's legal. You just cross things out. Nobody will hold it against you. Let's do another one. 10 over 12 times 20 over 25. All right, so you cross things out. 10 to go in there. 10 to go in here. You have see, you have, I'm sorry, yeah, 5 can go in there. You get 2. 5 go in here. You get 5, right? 2 go in here. You get 6. 2 go in here. You get 10. 2 can go in here again. You get 3. 2 go in here. You get 5. See, you cross things out. Whatever can, even this one can cross that out, and then you get 2 over 3. That's the answer right there. You can solve it the other way. You're gonna get the same answer. You see, so if you solve it the other way, it would be like 10 over 20 times 20 over 25 is equals to 200 over 300. It's equals to, you cross these out, equals to 2 over 3, the same thing. So now, you know, you see, you make it easier for yourself by trying to cross things out before you actually doing heavy multiplication. You see, just give me a minute. Okay, you can also do what is called, you can do fractions like this in multiplication. Remember, let's say somebody gives you something like this. Somebody gives you something like this, 2 and 2.5. Oh, sorry. 2.5 times 5 over 7. Again, it's very simple, so, right? What do you need to do? You see this part? You just rewrite it. 2 times 2 over there is 4. 4 plus 1 is 5. This is the, that fraction can be written like that. Then it's times 5 over 7. You see? See? So you do that, you get 25 over 14. That's the answer right there. Because you can't reduce it anymore. So you can do one more. You have 3 over, I'm sorry, 3, 1 over 2, 1 over 3 times 4, 2 over, I'm rushing, 2 over 5. Again, you do the same thing we did. You put it in a proper, write it as improper fraction, which is 3 times 3 is 9 plus 1 is 10. It's like that, 10 over 3 times 5 times 4 is 20. 20 plus 2, 22. 22 over 5. So once you do that, you can cross things out. 5 divided, you get 2. Then you say it's 2 over 3 times 22 over 1, because this is 1 here. Okay, so basically it's 44 over 3. That's the answer right there, right? Now we'll go to division of fractions. Let's say you have 2 fractions, A over B divided by C over D. Now, you just follow 3 simple steps, everything will be easier, right? You take this fraction here, you leave it as it is. You write it like this, and you leave it, right? And then you take this, the division, you change it to multiplication, and then this one here, you flip it, you invert it. You invert denominators denominator and numerator like that. D over C, right? So then A over B divided by C over D becomes A over B. You leave it alone, and then you say times. You flip this one here, you flip it to D over C. That's it. So division is turned into multiplication, and you know all the steps for doing multiplication. So let me show you a couple of examples, and then we close this thing. Let's say we do this one here. 3 over 7 divided by 2 over 5, right? So you go step by step. You bring 3 over 7 down here. You change the division sign to multiplication sign, right? And you flip this one. You do 5 over 2. And then you do as we normally do. 3 times 5 over 7 times 2, which is 15 over 14. And then you're done. That's the answer. See how simple that is? You just have to remember the instruction I put up there. Okay, let's do another one. 2 over 9, all right, divided by 1 over 3. We'll do the same thing. You leave 2 over 9 alone. You replace a division by multiplication sign, and you flip the other one, 3 over 1. You see? Very simple. Basically, we'll have 2 times 3 over 9 times 1, which is the same thing as 6 over 9, the same thing as 2 over 3. Yeah? Okay, so we'll do another example. Let me give you a mixed example, okay? We'll do a mixed example. That's what I just showed you is how you do it. You follow that instruction, you won't have any problem. Let me give you a mixed fraction. Let's say you have 15 over 12, right? Divided by 3. What do you do? So what do you do there? So what you just proceed the same way we did it. Because you see, this 3 can be written as 3 over 1. You know, we normally don't write it, but that's what is there. So you leave this one the way it is, 15 over 12 times 1 over 3. Right? See? You can even break this down. Let me see, 3 going here 4. 3 going here 5, right? So then you say 5 times 1 over 4 times 3. Okay, which is the same thing as 5 over what is this, 12? Yeah, that's the answer. Alright, so you follow steps. If you follow the steps, you should be okay. Let me give you another variation of what I just did up here. Suppose you give him 4 divided by a fraction like that over 5. Again, if you follow the same instruction, it shouldn't be hard. You know, you say 4. Remember, 4 is 4 over 1 times 5 over 2. What is that? 20 over 2, which is 10. Alright, that's the answer right there. Okay, so we could also, you can be given a fraction like this: 1 over 2 divided by 3, 2 over 5. Again, you rewrite it. First, you rewrite it the way you know you have all the numbers lined up. You say 2 times 2 is 4. 4 plus 1 is 5. So that fraction is 5 over 2 divided by, we just rewriting it first. 3 times 5, 15 plus 2 is 17, right? We just rewrite 17 over 5. We're just in the process of rewriting it, that's all. You know, so once you rewrite it, right? Once you rewrite it and then you actually do the actual division, it becomes easy. Remember with our rules, 5, you don't touch 5 over 2, you leave it, switch the signs, and then flip like that. Okay, what do you get? You get 25 over, if you multiply that, 25 over 34. That's it. That's the answer. Okay, please subscribe to my channel. If you have any question, write it under the comment, like and share the video. Alright, thank you for coming in.